Hello, and welcome to the 501c TV podcast in conjunction with Nonprofits First. And I'm your host today, Jenell Harris, and we're here with another wonderful nonprofit to talk about their impact, their stories, and all the wonderful things that they're doing here in our county. And I'm excited today because we actually have two guests. So this is a very exciting day. We are talking to the executive women of Palm Beach, the Palm Beaches, and we have the current and the past president here. So we have Vicki Pugh, who is our past president, correct, and we have Kay Johnson, who is the current. So this is actually really cool because we get to get both perspectives, past, present, what we've done, moving forward, all the good, exciting things. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
So what I think I would love to talk about with you guys is, if somebody's listening in and they're not even familiar with what does Executive Women of the Palm Beaches do? Who are you guys? How did it get started? And where are we at today? So I'll let you guys take that away and explain.
So Executive Women of the Palm Beaches actually started quite a while ago in 1982.
Wow. Okay.
And we are here really to support and encourage women in leadership roles, whether it's in their business or in their community life.
Okay. Perfect.
The impetus for Executive Women was actually a small group of women led by someone named Cynthia Allen Gracie.
Okay.
She was a female business leader in Palm Beach County, and she couldn't join the Rotary. And she couldn't join Kiwanis, and she couldn't join several other business networking groups because back then they only allowed men.
Interesting.
And so she and her friends said, we got to change this.
Forget this. We're going out on our own.
And they started Executive Women.
That's amazing. I'm all for, women's empowerment, and I love all this. So I'm excited to have both of you here today to talk about this because I think it's obviously very needed, very important. And I want to talk about all the initiatives that you guys kind of started doing and maybe where you're going from here. So without further ado, let's talk about basically like the historical significance right here in Palm Beach County. So why is this so significant back then? Obviously, it's been around a long time. And moving forward, why do you guys think this is such an important thing to have in our community?
Well, it's an independent organization. A lot of chambers and other things are part of a national or a parent organization. This organization has been on its own since the very beginning, which really, I think, is a testament to the strength of the people who have led it over the years. We're all volunteer run, so we take all the roles on ourselves to advance the organization. And I think starting just as in business networking and evolving to where we are today, a lot of great milestones were met along the way. The organization started a foundation, and so we have some endowed scholarships, which we'll tell you about in a little while, and some grant programs. Through that foundation, we're all kind of one now. And we've evolved to a membership group of about 130 members.
Interesting.
And we always are looking to grow.
I love that. How many members were there initially when it first started?
That's a great question.
I think under 10. I think they started out, I think it was, as she talked about, there was a group of about 4 or 5 of them. And in the first couple of years, they went from 10 to maybe 20. I know that when Vicki and I were both involved, it's kind of for a while, it was like around 70, 30. It's ebbed and flowed over the years.
Sure.
And, I think that now we're at kind of where we are at one of our largest, which is 130. But we're capped right now that we don't want to go more than 160. Because that personal interaction and connection among members, no matter how large the county is, how much roles for women in business have changed or evolved, we still want to be that place where you go for something more than that 5-minute connection that you have over a conversation at a breakfast or a business card you grab at a networking event, but really become a circle of support for women who have reached a place in that career where sometimes they might feel a little isolated. Sometimes they might be looking for someone in a partner or a different industry where that the women that you are calling kind of follow that same code of conduct and standard of excellence.
Yeah, I love that. And the women that are all a part of this, is there a certain type of business? Is there a certain industry, or does it kind of span?
We span all industries.
That's cool.
And I think that's one of the things, we're a very diverse organization. We're an organization that has members from Boca to Jupiter, all the way to the Western communities.
Sure.
I think one of the hardest decisions we have is where are we actually going to meet and hold our events, because someone's ever not happy because this is a county where you drive, where someone's got 45 minutes to an hour to drive to whatever it is that we do. But I think really during COVID, when that connection to each other was a bond that carried a lot of us together.
Sure.
And we came out the other side even stronger, understanding that a lot of those other things fell away, but those people that you had a stronger connection with really stuck with you.
Yeah, that's awesome. So in what ways do you guys think like belonging to an organization like this really enhances both your personal and your professional life? Like, how do you think that melds that together so well? The recipe for success is
it's a
on
good
that.
question. I think we do several things, and we do several things well. Number one, networking. We like to network for business and for personal reasons.
Sure.
I've gained so many great friends. I know, Kay, you have as well through this group. So
I'm
that's
sure.
really important. Women supporting women is really a cool thing.
Yeah.
We also do professional development and education for women who are in leadership positions. We have this grant program so women can participate in philanthropy in our community. Some of them may not know how to do that, how to plug in, how to get involved, but we help with that. So all those things are really the benefits of being a part of this type of an organization.
Yeah, it's so cool. And how long have you both been a part of it?
I've been a member more than 10 years.
Awesome.
And I think you...
I'm a little bit newer. I've been a member since 2021.
That's awesome.
But involved with the organization through other means.
I'm sure.
That.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
But I do want to say that I think that what makes us different is that we're not that any of these organizations are bad. There's a nonprofit chamber. People are involved. I'm in the nonprofit world. So is Vicki.
Yeah.
Although she's a business consultant, she specializes in the nonprofit world. You tend to become isolated in your own business group anymore. If you're a lawyer, you hang out with lawyers. If you're in nonprofits, you know every other development director or CEO. But what's different about this organization is people come from all parts of business, private, public, doctors in there. So you are meeting people at Scripps. You meet and are people that are at a level of their career. And a lot of the challenges and the questions that we have become similar, but you don't see that until you meet someone who's up at Scripps and you realize they're asking the same questions about what do I do next? Where do I go? Do you know this? How do I meet this challenge? And I think that's one of the wonderful things about executive women.
Yeah, and I think that's so cool. Just, being able to bounce ideas off of somebody, or you meet somebody that is maybe in a role that you are aspiring to, and you have somebody that it's easily accessible to you to be able to feel like, hey, how do I get there? How do I do this? I think that's so important because I think a lot of times, to your point, you get isolated in a certain industry or vertical that, maybe you want to break out of that, but how do you do that?
We hear that from a lot of women.
Yeah.
We hear it from women at large corporations who say, I only know the people that are in my corporation. Yeah. And we hear that from people that are solopreneurs that say, we had a woman join just this year who said, I'm a psychiatrist in private practice. I don't ever talk to anybody. I talk for a living, but I don't get out of my own space to meet someone or interact. We had a woman join us from a detective division in one of the police departments who said, I work with all men and I'm looking to connect with women in a professional basis where that has more interaction than when I met on a SWAT visit. Yeah. So, and I think that diversity, not only in age, background, and everything, leads that we only ask that as a commonality, that all women before they join have had significant leadership in nonprofit, either by boards or by volunteerism, that they've been in their career, I think it's 3 or 4 years in an executive leadership role in a career, and they live or work in Palm Beach County.
Got you. So if somebody wanted to join up and be a part of the organization, do they come to you and say, like, I want to apply to be part of the group? Or
we have an online membership application.
Okay, got you.
And that's kind of the first thing. When you do that online membership or you've met someone there, we have a lot of people who say, so-and-so's interested in membership, reach out to her. We have cold ones that come in just online
Right.
that say, I'm interested or tell me more. We have a very robust membership committee of about 7 or 8 women
That's awesome.
who reach out, will call you back and say, why don't you come to something?
Yeah, I think that's so cool.
I think that's the best place to start, is come to something. You don't have to be a member to come to many of our events. Some events are member only, and that's a benefit of membership. But I always say, if somebody's interested, I just met somebody for coffee a few minutes ago, right before I came here. She's interested in joining. I'm like, come to an event and learn more. Don't just take it from me. Meet some of the women, because I think that's what's great about our group. Is whenever you come into a room of executive women, we will just surround you, right? We want to get to know you.
I love that.
And share with you, how great it is to be a part of this unique organization.
That's awesome. So why do you guys think that it's so important to have an organization like this to kind of carry it on for the next generation? Like what makes that so important?
I think you kind of answered the question, to carry it on for the next generation. I feel like our founders, they didn't have support, right? They didn't have those supportive groups. So they had to do their own thing. And I feel like those of us who've kind of emerged as leaders, as female leaders in our careers, it's part of our role is to bring up the next generation of female leaders. Yeah. And by bringing them into the group, by providing a lot of this education and professional development. And I will talk a little bit about mentoring. We don't necessarily have a formal mentoring program, but it just happens organically in our group, because some of the younger women come in, they want to get to know various parts of our community a little bit more, our career paths, and there's a lot of great mentoring that goes on. So I feel it's important to raise up that next generation of female leaders.
What are the statistics on how many more C-level executives are women these days than there ever were before, right?
You're probably better because it's what you do, consulting. Yeah. I think in nonprofits, a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that as much as social media and all the networking events bring us together, I think people feel more and more isolated. We find now that people that come in for membership, they want a more personal, significant connection. Someone who they feel like would actually pick up the phone and call them.
Like a friend.
Or someone when they walk into, like Vicky said, at a thing, will come up and have a conversation, as opposed to how many of us have walked into an event that has 200-300 people and you're looking for that one person or that open seat at a table and you walk and you've had you don't even remember who you sat with when you've left. And there's a place for all of that. And I think there's also definitely a place on the rise for a small scale women's organization that does well, that really believes in that element of support. When you join as a member, we're going to call you. If you don't rejoin as a member, we're going to call you and find out why and have that connection. You don't go unnoticed.
Right. What do you think are some of the biggest challenges that women are facing out there in the work world or beyond, maybe that are different now than they were 10 years ago even?
You had asked about women in leadership roles. In the nonprofit sector, it's heavily women in leadership roles. 83% or so of the leadership of nonprofit organizations in our country are women. But it's about the opposite in corporate America. I think that's where women don't get to be, they're not rising as above. To me, part of it is there's still some gender bias in our business world, in every sector. I'm not just saying the corporate sector. But the flexibility that women need, especially if they're going to raise a family, and that's a big part of it. And I think I've talked to a lot of women. This is my own research. A lot of women who have children, they'll take a step back because I want to make sure I'm there for my kids. Correct. I can't take this big corporate job or this big leadership role because I want to be there for my family, and that's as important to me as getting ahead in my careers. So once they're ready, their kids are grown up and they're ready to jump back in full force. The men have already have really excelled forward. So I think that's something, if we got to think about what's going to help women in the future, is how do we give them the flexibility to be able to get in and out of the workplace, take care of kids, raise a family, still have everything that she wants to have, and fulfill some of those leadership roles, because it's important to have perspectives from different genders in the workplace.
And I think too, just thinking about how important what this organization is if we go back to talking about the nonprofit world, a lot of times the women that they rise up through the ranks in a nonprofit, they might start as like a volunteer and then work their way up, but they haven't had the corporate training to be in an executive role. So I feel like having a good mix of women like this is like so invaluable.
And I think it comes down, we have a very robust scholarship program we've been doing for a number of years. And we're starting to see more and more every year. Women that were given scholarships 10 years ago are coming back and playing it forward.
That's so awesome.
We've had women that have received scholarships that have gone on that work for NASA. We've had a woman this past year, out of the blue one day, in our bank account appeared $5,000. And it was for a woman earmarked for that and said, 10 years ago, I was struggling. I was going to XYZ school here. You gave me a scholarship that allowed me to go beyond. I'm now living in Connecticut. I'm thriving. I'm married. I'm doing this and all that. But I've never forgot that time when someone said, hey there, can we help you a little bit more? Or I put that application in.
That's so rewarding.
And you believed in me, so I believe in you.
Yeah. Those are the stories, right? That's awesome. Yeah. I love hearing about that.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the scholarship program. How does this work? And tell me all about it so everybody knows.
We have about 16 scholarship funds. Many of them are endowed through our foundation. So we have a robust scholarship program. We accept applications once a year. We try to work through the guidance counselors at school to let them know this is, one on a list of many that they have, and to let young women know who might be eligible. We review the scholarship applications and then award based on the criteria of those funds. We give away about 20 scholarships every year. All total, since we started our scholarship program, we've given out about 200 scholarships that equate to about $1 million in support for young women.
And I would say they're skewed heavily towards college. And they can be donor designated to different fields.
Okay.
We try to support our schools here in Palm Beach County, as we're a Palm Beach County organization.
Yes.
But we have some people who have endowed scholarships who open it up because sometimes they might say, I want to give it in XYZ field, and maybe there's other programs in there. But, kudos, it's all volunteer-led and reviewed to them that we find as we would say, a lid for every pot.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love that. So we talked a little bit about some of the stories. What are a few other stories that you can share? Some of your favorite ones?
Well,
from your scholarships specifically.
This is actually related to because in addition to scholarships, we have a grant program called Quasman Grant. It started in 2004 in honor of a wonderful member who passed away. And it's a grant. It can be anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 we give away a year to an organization that supports women and girls.
Okay.
And there was a young woman that we had given the grant to her organization, and she eventually became the CEO of this organization. So she came to one of our meetings. We always invite our grant recipients come to our meetings. She's young, she's in a leadership role, and she stands up in the middle of the Q&A session and says, I need help. I'm a new CEO. I don't know what I'm doing. She was very vulnerable at that moment. Yeah. And it was so great, though, because everyone's like, we can help you.
You're in the right room.
We got you. She's thriving as the CEO of this organization. They're growing. They're just doing so many wonderful things. And I think part of it's because she just built some confidence. She's a smart girl. She knows what she's doing. But building that confidence through that support of our organization and the people in the organization, I think, really.
But that's so cool too, because you probably also have a range of ages in your organization, which to me I would be like, oh, that's amazing. I want people that have been there and done that. But it's also important for.
And I also think it's really important. In my favorite question that everyone had, does anyone know? It's very hard to ask that question when you're looking from anything. Does anyone know someone at a particular firm?
Sure.
Does anyone know someone in this field?
Yeah.
Does anyone know what I should do about this or that? It is hard to be vulnerable, but it is easier in a small space organization that has, really a great group of women that will, I'd say more than anything, They come, they get enthralled,
Mhm.
and they stay because when they pick up the phone, someone answers.
Yeah, that's so important. That's huge. I love that. And how do you guys balance like the professional networking kind of piece with like the philanthropy piece of it? Because those go hand in hand with everything that you guys
Committees.
do.
Yeah, I mean, it's
a lot.
tough being being the board president
Yeah.
because they know when you're calling them, it usually means that you're asking them to do something. But there's a lot of other women that do that.
Yeah.
I mean, and I would say that out of an organization I'd say that at least 2/3 of our membership is active in some way. It's kind of one of these things that they don't, you can't really hide in the ranks to do that, because if we want to do the things that we want to do, we say at least a couple of times a year, we realize that no one can come to anything. And we've cut back based on a lot of what we've heard from our membership, that people are busy. Nobody's just involved with one organization anymore, that there's a balance. We try to balance it out, that we have 4, maybe 5 events a year that we would like to really see you at, a few other smaller ones, and a couple that we'd really like to see you at, like our big fundraiser that we have every April, and at least either our fall luncheon for scholarship or our winter luncheon over the holidays. We'd like to see you involved at least a couple times a year.
Yeah, for sure. But what do you think the biggest impact is that you guys have just on the women in our community as a whole, especially during that month?
Well, I think the month is really to spotlight the achievements of women, as well as encourage women, especially those who are kind of coming up through the ranks, that they can achieve great things. So that's what we do. It really is in alignment with what Executive Women does. We want to support women in their pursuit of leadership in business or in their community. So I think the alignment between the organization and the actual month is very strong. And we have a great event during this month.
Let's talk about it.
That Kay's going to talk about. That coming up is going to be really
Is this the Trailblazers breakfast?
Trailblazers,
Okay, take it away, Kay.
Which really came out as part of not only, Black History Month, but also Women's History Month. And I think a highlight that we saw in our community to honor these women who are in leadership roles and those that have really, blazed the trail for those that will come after them. And this is our second year doing it. We're at the Riviera Beach Marina. Marina Center, new beautiful waterfront Marina Center. Our chair for this event is the amazing Elizabeth Hama, who is the president of Hubbard Radio. She is chairing it this year with the Sulan Johnson, who is the board president for the
development director for the Urban League. So kind of the two of them, this is their brainchild. This year we have, it's moderated by Tanya Rogers. It's this coming Thursday. It's $50, and we have a number of amazing panelists who I'm going to have to read out because I do not have them memorized, but they come from all sorts of businesses. We have Alicia Cox, who is the Palm Beach County State Attorney. We have Nicole Daggs, who is the Executive VP for NextEra Energy. We have Calinthia, thank you, for the Diller.
That's not an easy one.
General Counsel and Deputy Inspector General for Palm Beach County. So we've got a lot of diversity from people who are in different walks of business. We have Rosalind Cia Baker Barnes, who is a shareholder at Cersei Denny and the president of the Florida Bar. Kelia Brownlee, who is a firefighter paramedic with the West Palm Beach Fire Department.
Love that.
Annetta Jenkins, who's the director of neighborhood services for the Riviera Beach CRA. And France McAboo, who is a successful realtor and former Young Professionals president. So these are all women. They're diverse in age, diverse in background. I attended this event last year, as I think Vicki did. And the conversations range from how did you get started in this to where are you going to how can we work together and where we are played back from, what it was like 10, 15 years ago, being a woman in business in some of these industries that did not promote women very well,
Sure.
to where we are now and where we think we're going.
So cool.
And I think that is I think no matter where you are in your career, if you're starting out, if you're feeling you're a little stonewalled, if you're percolating right along, or you're towards the point where you're thinking, how'd I get out of here?
Right.
This is a great way for you to hear from some dynamic women who have kind of set the standard for excellence.
So in your view then, going along with all the things that you just said, what do you guys think, whoever wants to answer this, but what do you think still needs to happen to ensure the continued advancement for women in leadership?
I think we need to support each other. Mm-hmm. And I think we need to celebrate our achievements, which is what our other event does, which is our Willow Awards, which is Women in Leadership Awards, which takes place in April. Because a little bit that, going back to the history, we've been doing that almost since we started, right, Vicki?
I think, yes, almost exactly the same time.
And so we track that. So now we've got more than 30 years of women that we have celebrated in the private, public, and nonprofit sector, and in quite a number of the years, the emerging leader.
Cool.
And so these are nominated not only by people within our organization, but outside the organization. I'm proud to say that we had over 42 women nominated this year in all different categories, in all different industries, in all different levels within their career. And I think it's important for us to keep recognizing our achievements and celebrating that, because let's face it, we all work hard.
Yeah, I love it. And when is the Willow Awards?
April 16th.
April 16th.
At the Kravis Center.
Oh, it is in the Kravis Center. Okay.
And everything is on our website. And our website address is so easy to remember. It's ewpb.org.
Perfect. So everyone can figure that out, and you need to visit there. I'm assuming it also has your membership information on there.
Information, events, everything that's going on.
And how to get through there. So you guys are connected to Nonprofits First. That's how we're here doing this. So how important is that for you guys to be connected to an organization like Nonprofits First? And what does that mean for the organization moving forward?
Because about a third of our membership are women who are in leadership roles in the nonprofit sector, I think it's really important that we have this connection with Nonprofits First.
Yeah.
And not just for them, for the other female leaders coming up that might benefit from joining our organization. I think it's also important for us as people who are giving away grants. We do give away grant funds to make sure that we are giving those away prudently to great organizations that can manage the funds well and do with those funds what they have said they will do. And Nonprofits First is a place where we can find those great accredited nonprofit organizations so we can give very confidently.
Awesome.
And I also want to say that the past CEO of Nonprofits First and the current CEO of Nonprofits First, Trudy Crowitz, were both executive women members.
I did not know that.
And I can say that Trudy and I both joined about the same time, executive women, for the same reasons that women are joining today.
Sure.
We were at a point in our career where we were looking to we were both working in the same Boys and Girls Club at that point, and we were both looking to get out of just that little world, meet other people, meet people in the private and public sectors. We were welcomed into executive women, grew in our careers while we were there, and Trudy just happened to grow so much that she met Jessica Cecere. She's now, attended some leadership classes, and now today she is the president of.
What is kind of moving forward? What's on the horizon for the next 10 years? What would you guys like to see happen down the line? I mean, you've been around for so long already, but what are some of the things that you could see coming out that would be future endeavors for the organization?
I think I would love to see us cap our membership at 160, which is what Kay said, because the more people who are in the group, the more women in the group, just the more expertise that we have, the more participation. The committee work is so important and really fulfilling. You could probably ask anybody that sits on one of our committees.
Sure.
It's it's work, but it's not terrible work,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of fun all at the same time. So, really filling out those committees. And of course, like any nonprofit organization, we would love to have a really good succession plan. So we're not thinking everywhere who's going to take over some of our leadership roles.
Yeah. Always.
But I also think stressing the importance of the fact that we're giving out these grants and these scholarships. They have grown tremendously over the last 10 to 12 years as we're kind of coming into our stride. I would love to see us be able to continue to give these scholarships and have them increase a little bit in their value because I think the cost of going to school and building these future leaders, it's expensive.
It is.
And the same thing for nonprofits. The dollars out there that we all compete for are few and far harder to come between.
Yeah.
So, I'd love to see us over the next 10 years as we stabilize our membership and continue to grow, be able to put an emphasis on being able to give back more.
Awesome. What is kind of the biggest takeaway that you want people to leave watching this with? What do you want them to know?
I would say we definitely want women who are interested in all the things that we've talked about throughout this podcast to just take a look at Executive Women. Think about a membership. It's not that expensive to join, and you get such a great benefit from the all the things that we just talked about. So I think that's one of the things that we want. I think we want to continue to encourage women to seek those leadership roles. There's got to be there's a way for all of us to make our way and to do the things that we want to do and accomplish the things we want. And hopefully by shining a light on this month, this Women's History Month, as well as the organizations that you'll be featuring.
Yes.
Some of our businesses can be thinking about how they can be more intentional about recruiting female leaders to their ranks.
That's a huge point to make also. I think that's really important.
And I would say there's a lot of things out there to do, but I'd encourage everyone who listens to this to go on our website, check out our events. We've got these 2 dynamic events coming up. Between the Trailblazers Breakfast this Thursday and our Willa event at the Kravis Center in April, that you won't be disappointed. I know there's a lot of choice out there. Fewer corporations pay for things for people to go, but I think that it's a real investment in your future and not something that's we're not a one and done event.
Well, I thank you both so much for being here. I love everything that's going on and what you guys are doing. I'm all for, girls supporting, women supporting other women. So thank you both for being here. And that's it for today. Sadly, on 501c TV, we're out of time. But catch us next time. And thank you both again for being here.
Thank you.